Hello everyone. I really didn't think I'd need to make a video like this, but yeah, after reading some comments, I really am just trying to wrap my head around this. So it seems to me that there's a lot of people who don't understand why something needs to be criticized. You can completely like something, right? Like you can totally enjoy this device or the Switch or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can enjoy that, but you can still be critical of it. There have been a lot of people. I understand that the general like age for people who are viewing my kind of content and just any handheld content for that matter, they're typically like in between 25 to 55, somewhere around that age. So you would hope, right, that everyone could be more understanding and kind of civil about things. But the most common thing I get um, is say if I'm making a video about battery life, they'll say, quit bitching, quit complaining about the battery life. You knew what you were getting yourself into, or you should have known this when you bought the device. When I made some Steam Deck videos, the first comments were um, about how stupid someone would have to be to not know that Linux doesn't support certain anti-cheats. Now, do you not understand how dumb that sounds? I'm not even trying to call you stupid, but I kind of have to. The reason I am making this video is to educate people. Now, I'm not a teacher. I didn't make these or any, these are just simple things that somebody like myself may not have known. Now, you being 50, retired, whoever, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes to understand where you're coming from, and it's getting kind of hard. But can you just pause and imagine, right? Imagine you are 16. I know it was back in the 50s, really hard. Now imagine you are 16. You just mowed a whole bunch of lawns. You just worked really hard with your dad, with your brother, whatever. You got some money saved up because you wanted this. And this was your what you just could not get your eyes off of. I know when you were that age, you had something, whether was a dirt bike or something like that. My dad was the same way. So can you just imagine the frustration if you bought a Steam Deck and that Steam Deck didn't work with your favorite game, Destiny, or that didn't work with Fortnite, or whatever you wanted to play, right? And you go online and you're looking for help for it. You make a post or whatever, you're just in the comments, and the first thing somebody does is roast you on your intelligence, saying that you should have known this. When in reality, almost every single video on all of these devices are sponsored, and almost none of them talk about opinions. Nothing. And I don't even mean just opinions. When I was looking for stuff for the Steam Deck, it's just assumed, right? Like you should already know this, that this device comes with all these weird little kind of niche things that you might need to know about. Look up Steam Deck video, and the first thing you'll see is it does this, it's got this, it fits in my hands really good. It can play I don't know what's a game everyone it can play Elden Ring really good. Nobody talks about the bad things because they don't want to potentially lose out on sponsorships or something like that. I absolutely doubt that I will get a single device ever sent out to me with how I have talked about this device and tried to be as open and honest about it. If you go to someone like ETA Prime or Flossie Carter, I think he just made a video on it. I bet you will almost only find positive things about the device. When, as we can clearly see, not everything about this device is that way. Who's going to talk about that? Oh, you should have known. How is anybody supposed to know that? Right? Like I made a video talking about how we are guinea pigs, right? Kind of to bait you guys on some of the title, but that really was how we felt, right? There was a lot of you guys who resonated with that, but there was equally as many people who thought this is just how it is, you know? Does that mean it's okay? Like if every device that we get has these issues, if we're beta testers for the device and having to struggle through this, does that mean it's okay for that? Just because something's an industry standard, that means we just have to shut up? I'm sorry. I know this video is a little bit more angry than normal, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm going to shut up about this anytime soon. Because for me, I'm passionate about these devices. And I know there are other people who are just like me who are also passionate that want to get helpful information. And it just so happens that everyone who's popular, who makes these kinds of videos, they're almost all sponsored, you guys. These devices are expensive as hell. If you want a new Ioneo Plus, that's $1,000. That is not cheap. And if you're someone who's my age, maybe even younger, or I'm 20, if you want to spend that kind of money on a device like that, you're not just that. I mean, that's expensive. Like I'm trying to think about who that wouldn't be expensive for. You know what I mean? So for people just to assume that you should know this, that's why they're watching the video. That's why they're here, okay? Is because they're trying to gather information on the device so they can make an educated decision. In almost every one of my review videos that I've done on these, I tell you, please do not just use this video as a guide to buy it. I know that's what you want, is just a super simple yes or no if it's good or bad. It is so much more complex than that. There are tons of layers. One, the company's reputation. Do they support devices? What is it made out of? Are there accessories? No, there's not accessories. Shit, this is a Nintendo Switch screen protector because mine is delayed from China. So it's like there are so many things that go into this that need to be talked about. It may seem repetitive to kind of complain. I absolutely love this device. We'll see how many people who leave comments on this video stick around to right here. I have not felt so attached to a device before, other than this. I mean, you could nostalgia bait and say like Game Boy and stuff, but for what this does, I am absolutely blown away. There are a few things about it that I dislike that I am absolutely looking past. That is my opinion. Now, those few things that I'm looking past, I have seen dozens and dozens, if not more, comments on that was the reason somebody returned it. So they maybe didn't know that there was issues with this one thing or this other thing, and they didn't know that. They purchased the device and ended up returning it. If I would have known that Linux had so many problems that I would run into, not problems with bugging or anything, but just so many games that I wanted to play that I couldn't, I wouldn't have bought the device. Now, I'm not going to return it because I just enjoy using it for certain things, but had I known back then, I probably would have returned it. And I think I'll phrase this in a different way for people. If you're still thinking I'm stupid, right? If you're looking for a device or a car, if say you're looking to get like a F-150, something, right? Is the very first thing you're going to do, why does this car, or why does this truck suck so bad? What is wrong with this truck? Is that the very first thing you're going to do? No, because it's a big like you might eventually do that. You might eventually look into that stuff. And I applaud you for doing that, because who wants to critique something that they're going to be spending money on? That's what I'm doing, and obviously people think that's outrageous for me to do that. This isn't even this is my device. I paid for this, and I'm sitting here going, "Oh, I actually don't like this thing here and that." That takes a bigger person to step back from what you're so hyper focused on and realize that it isn't perfect. That's what it takes more of an adult to do, rather than looking up these videos where it's all sunshines and rainbows, right? The battery life, it's garbage. It's garbage. I do not care what you have to say. Buy a portable battery. Take a generator with you. Learn how to create nuclear fission and shove it in there. I don't care what you have to say, because there are people who cannot afford those, who cannot afford to go out and spend another $100 on a battery pack and all these other odds and ends that you're saying, oh, just do that. They can't do that. They may not be vocalizing it as much as you think, but dude, I remember when I would save up for things, I think the last thing I'd want to hear is when I get this, after watching videos where everything is sunshines and rainbows, I get it, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can only play for an hour. Just play indie games. Just do it. There are people who need to hear this, and I am going to try and spread that to them. Whether that makes you happy or upset or whatever, hopefully that's why you're here on the channel. All he does is complain. what do you want from me? I'm giving my opinion. I'm sorry that I'm not just riding this thing to the end of the earth. There will be better devices. This is a stepping stone on the path to a better device. It is not perfect, and by making these videos, hopefully enough people will voice their concerns so that it gets fixed. Do you think that this is the best and will never get better? This right here. Every single thing about this is perfect. The placement of these buttons, that's perfect. The triggers, the joysticks, everything was created with God's image in mind. No, that is why I make videos. And that is why I'm trying to push certain things that I think need to get out to people so that they can see that and use that in their decision making. So with all of this being said, if you stuck around to the end, you're awesome. But this next coming week will be a lot more positive, okay? Now that we're about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks into this launch, I feel like enough has been said about everything that I can finally relax and let people know and refer back to older videos. So I can mention something like, oh man, this game plays really well. Let me show you some footage. There is one thing though, and I talked about it in this previous video. So I don't have to make a whole thing about that during that video. So we're at a good point here where I've got enough out on the problems that I think exist that I can reference them. And if anybody wants to see my thoughts on them, they can go find that. But now I can finally start opening up a little bit more and talk about why I think this device is so great, because it really is. Not perfect, but it's great. Just like the Steam Deck, right? There's a lot of things that I like about this device. It is not perfect, and there will be others. So with that, I've got a series on the way, a little mini series. We'll see how you guys react to that. I'm putting a lot more effort into this than I would a normal video, and we'll see if you guys like that at all. It may not be exactly what you're looking for here on the channel. I encourage you, please don't just go spam it with what is this, I'm just trying to branch out and not get kind of stuck here in the handheld space. I love it, but like I said, they're expensive. I can't go out and purchase a brand new handheld every single week. These things come out faster than rabbits, or like they're very expensive. So I'm sticking with this for quite some time until something more affordable comes out, or if some company reaches out and wants to send something out to me. But for now, I'm going to work on that mini series, maybe make some more videos on what I enjoy about this device. I appreciate every single one of you. Hopefully this wasn't too angry. I just feel like there's so many people who just want to make other people's day worse. And it's not even just mine. There's so many people in the comments who are just getting belittled for asking questions and stuff. It's very annoying. But I appreciate every single one of you guys, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week. Peace out.